Gary and we've known each other for a couple of years. I met him for the first time online as a Kickstarter backer for How Do You Write a Joe Sherman Song? Both campaigns actually, so I got to start following him through that project. And at the time I was actually making a feature film of my own, and when that film was done we were fortunate enough to actually be at each other's premieres when they played on the East Coast. I went to go see his in New York and he came to see mine up in Hartford, Connecticut. So we've both been supportive of each other's careers, and he had asked me if I wanted to audition for Unnerved. I have acted before. I don't consider myself an actor by trade, but I think it's a really great, cool thing to do. There was a lot of energy, and that's not something that you normally get, working on films. The things tend to be a little bit more spread out. So it was fun to be in kind of like a little kind of a chaotic environment where things were really kind of happening all at the same time. The actual shooting process was great. Gary led us through each scene, very clearly, told us exactly what he wanted. Let us kind of experiment with things a little bit, if we thought they'd work. For each scene, we'd go through in rehearsals and kind of run the scene a couple times before we'd actually go through and shoot. And he was very specific in the moments that he was trying to capture. So it was interesting, as opposed to kind of a theatrical process where you run through the entire scene in its entirety. Gary was a lot more specific in the moment-to-moment things that he wanted. And I think that's good, because working in film is a little bit different than working in theater. The editing process allows you to kind of piece together a performance out of different takes and things like that. So it was a really good thing for him to kind of go through and tell us what he wanted from each moment, so that'll allow him to put together the performance ultimately that he wants once he gets into editing. And it was just a really great experience. It was, fun and low pressure, and it just was a really good time.